Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on YouTube? It's Filthy and I'm back with another video. Today we're looking at what is probably going to be the fastest way to farm keys in Season 22. We're going to get extra keys, so we're getting a 25% bonus, as well as it being super fast. Now, no surprise, it's going to be the Wave of Light Monk. Tremendous AoE damage, super fast, really fun to play. And really good news this time around is we can do this at 800 Paragon. So in the background, we've got an 800 Paragon character. There are ways to add extra damage if we need it. So let's say your gear isn't quite as good. There is a swap we can do to power this up even further. And once we do get some juice, I think there's another couple of swaps we can do just to make this even easier and better to play. But we will go through all that. Before we do though, welcome to anybody who's new. Do consider hitting that subscribe button. We've got some more Season 22 stuff on the way. Do come by Twitch, come say hello. We'll get to work on some more builds as the season goes live. Other than that guys, thumbs up brightens my day. Let's jump in and take a little look-see. Now for this absolutely godly key farmer, we're going to be taking Sunwuko. So we've got 5 pieces: gloves, shoulders, chest, pants and amulet. Belt wise, we're going to go for crimsons, shoes we're going to go for crimsons, and Zokrin's gaze obviously in the helm. Now Sunwuko, we don't really care too much about any of the bonuses here except for the 6 piece, which is as we gain sweeping wind stacks, our damage increases by 1500%. With the Vengeful Wind, obviously this is nice, it's primal, it doesn't matter too much because you get the 10 extra sweeping wind stacks, so you can stack this up to 13 times, and obviously that just means Wave of Light hits like an absolute truck. Now one thing I would say in terms of gearing, I've left crit damage on here because I was toying around with playing with Rapid Strike. If you get a choice between crit damage and crit chance, you want crit chance because crit chance is how you build your sweeping wind stacks. So if they do drop off, which does happen from time to time if you run out of stuff to hit, more crit chance, you'll build your stacks up quicker. Now we get this modifier on the 6 piece, which is pretty godly. We then pair this with the Zokrin's Gaze, so we can cast Wave of Light at range now, so we just melt stuff for days. Pretty big modifier on it, 150%. Again, go for non-ancient, near the 150 rather than an ancient one. Without it, obviously, if you can get 6 crit chance on there, then so much the better. In the cube, we have the Incense Torch of the Grand Temple. Wave of Light is super thirsty on resource, so this 50% resource cost reduction is huge. Another big modifier here as well. Crimson's obviously gives us cooldown and it gives us resource cost reduction. Again, both things that Wave of Light absolutely loves. We do get more damage on the 3 piece for the cooldown. We don't care about damage reduction because, as always, gold wrap in the cube, Avarice Band on the character, and Boon of the Horde a gem. So we kill stuff, it drops gold, we become immortal with the gold wrap. So initially at the start of the rift you might proc because you might not have killed anything because you've got no sweeping wind stacks, but you've got teleport to kind of get out of trouble, so you'll get the hang of it. Obviously the more juice you chuck on this, the easier it'll be to avoid being one shot when you go in the rift. What else have we got? We've got legendary gems, we've got the Stone of Vengeance. Again, the further away we are, the more damage we do. Super duper. Bane of the Powerful just keeps us, I don't know, nice damage against elites. We want to be flattening them pretty quick. And Boon of the Horde, as we've gone over. Now we've also got a Kirishira's Blade here. We increase Wave of Light damage by 150%. If we hit through a few enemies, this goes up to 250. Obviously great for single target, great for the Guardian. Now one thing you've probably noticed guys, we're not taking Pintos. We don't need to. We can take nems. We hit hard enough, plenty hard enough on 800 Paragon. And it's nice because it means that we don't have to hot swap these on at pylons. We can just play it really lazy. We only do the hot swap on the boss. We've also got a Stone of Jordan. You just need to make sure that you're matching your elements here. So I've got Holy here, Holy, Holy. That's because we found a Primal Amulet. It dropped with Holy. So provided we pair the elements on the sheet, we just get this damage added to all of them. So even though we're damaging for fire, because we've matched all these elements, it just gets added together. So kind of nice. Now long term, I think you want to swap this off for a Zodiac because it'll just make the build smoother. But you probably need a little bit more gas. The extra elemental damage, extra elite damage is pretty nice at 800 Paragon. Now we've got Ingiome, so once this goes off, once we've murdered that first elite, we get infinite teleport, so we can dash around the map. You want lots of attack speed, so this animation is nice and smooth. So attack speed on both weapons, attack speed on your gloves if you can get it. I would also potentially take attack speed on rings. It's not that bad if you end up with an amulet with attack speed on it. Crit chance, attack speed, elemental would be kind of okay. But yeah, you want to push that attack attack speed as high as you can, and that will mean you can fly across the map super fast. Now, the only other gear swap we can do, let's say you're struggling for damage, what I would do is I would take a ring of Royal Grandeur. Obviously, we've got it in a cube here to make up the bonuses. You slap it on the character in place of the Stone of Jordan. You make sure it has a gizzard gem in it. Then you swap this here to a squirts. The gizzard will shield you. You then stop all incoming damage because you use super high armor from Goldrap, and squirts is a double mod. We don't need it for Angel Paragon, or at least with this kind of gear, we don't need it. But as I say, if you're struggling for damage, you can do that. Other swap potential is Rabid Strike. Again, this will hit twice, so it depends. If you're one banging everything with a crit, then it might be slightly better to take over Kirishira's. I know that's how Lexi likes to play it, but I just found that this is probably the simplest, and it puts the boss down the fastest for me, so that's why we've gone for it. Now, once the boss does spawn, we obviously want to get these extra keys. What we're going to do is we're going to swap in Cains. So we're going to lose this modifier here on Zokrins, so we can't cast at range anymore, and we lose 150%. But today we swap in Pintos Pride Braces because we don't need the nems for the boss. We get this 150% modifier back. Obviously this pair isn't great. I haven't even rolled it. Obviously we could get the crit up to 6, and you'd be looking for like 150 on the modifier. We've got the bottom roll here of 126. It's also got the wrong element on it, fire, but it does just work with it. So, if we put Holy on here, we'd flatten that boss faster if we did the 6% crit chance. But again, it's just interesting that it works even with it. And we also sub in Convention of Elements with a Bane of the Stricken. So we need to make sure that we're swapping out the Avarice Band. So as we go onto this, that's the ring that goes. You want to make sure your Zystone Vengeance is in your Avarice Band because you want to keep your powerful bonus. Obviously these two swaps go on, that one goes on. It only takes a split second. And when you do put the convention on, the second rotation is going to be fire. So it's going to be 4 seconds before it rolls around onto fire. So that's when we do all of our damage against the boss. So occasionally you might miss that. The boss might spawn somewhere random, but in general, it works pretty well. You then gobble up the 25% extra keys. Sometimes it's godly, you can get tons, sometimes you get no extra. It's just RNG, but over the course of hundreds and hundreds of rifts, obviously it does kind of even out. But yeah, I think that probably covers the gear. In terms of stats, other than the attack speed, cooldown everywhere for the Crimsons, cooldown for uptime on abilities. Area damage is okay, but you don't really need it. And I would say double crit obviously on gloves. Cooldown on your weapons obviously would be nice. Resource cost reduction is kind of okay, but with the Crimsons, with the stuff we've got in the build, you shouldn't need it. So again, ideally I wouldn't have that here. So looking at the skills, guys, we're going to take Wave of Light, Explosive Light. This is obviously how we dump out a ton of damage. We've got Blinding Flash, Faith in the Light. This is here for an on-demand 29% extra damage. Great for Juggernaut, great for the boss. Now, obviously, because we're not taking Pinto's Pride, Jugs aren't too much of a problem. But still, the extra 29% damage, you just left-click whenever you want, and it's there. Sweeping Wind in a Storm, this helps us with Spirit Regen, because obviously the Wave of Light is thirsty, and as we say, crits build the stacks if they do drop off. You just need to make a little note as you swap floors. That's probably the time it will drop off. Maybe if you run out of stuff to hit, but just keep an eye on it. You'll get the hang of it, no problemo. Epiphany Insight, again, Spirit Regen just means we can dump out more Wave of Lights. Again, this isn't like there permanently, but when we do transition yourself onto the Zodiac, you'll have much more uptime on this. Mystic Ally, Air Ally, this obviously helps again with passive Spirit Regen, more Wave of Lights, and it is like a Spirit Potion, so if you do end up dropping glow, let's say you don't notice you're whacking away at something with shielding on or something like that, you can just pop this button, on demand 100 Spirit, and again, when you do put Zodiac in, it's going to be back so much the faster. Dashing Strike, this is here, Quicksilver, just for the extra charge, so you can hold this down and whiz across the map. Again, build up your attack speed nice and high, and you'll find that even more fluid. Passives, Beacon of Utah, 20% cooldown, essential for obviously Epiphany and all these other abilities, plus more damage from the Crimsons. Momentum, moving 25 yards gives us 20% extra damage, obviously amazing. Seize Initiative, we gain attack speed for 4 seconds when we first bang an enemy. Again, perfect for the Dashing Strike, perfect just for everything. And a Near Death Experience, because at the start of the Rift, you've got no gold, you've got no Sweeping Wind stacks. You're going to proc this a fair bit of the time. As I say, more Paragon juice, you will be less reliant on this, but I would still leave it on personally. So that is pretty much it, guys. Wave of Light, it's so much fun to play. I'm going to be setting this up probably fairly early, I think, just so we can get the extra keys. And yeah, it's going to be fun. Now, don't get me wrong, Panzer Justice, the starting set, is super fast for keys. My video for that might be out. It might be out a little bit later. I can't quite be certain when I'm going to release these, but this obviously is better because it is faster and you get these extra keys with it. But by all means, you can play Panzer Justice for quite a while. But yeah, that's it, guys. Fastest keys in 22. Definitely this build here. I hope you like it. I hope you're going to have a fun season. I'll be back with some more content pretty soon. Take it easy. Peace.